live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A pleasant evening and a very warm welcome to the National News Broadcast. We are coming to you live from Rupavahini's News Studios. I'm Delanjali Ananda.
And I am Lakshit Singha. We start off by taking a quick look at the headlines for tonight.
Supplementary estimate of the first quarter of 2025 presented in the Parliament. Member of Parliament Archana accuses of an assault on him. Advanced level examination resumes tomorrow after 6 days. Students faced with transport difficulties provided facilities to attend the nearest examination centre. School children to receive an allowance of 6,000 rupees for educational stationery. Cabinet approval to increase Aswasum allowance. Permission to import rice immediately without import control permits. Super luxury vehicles, which is a burden to government institutions, will be removed. Israel again attacks Hezbollah targets. Both sides accused of ceasefire violations.
Now for this and other stories in detail. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya stresses that the present government will not leave any space for communalism.
She made this observation participating in the debate in Parliament regarding the policy statement of the President. In the meantime, the Prime Minister also presented in the Parliament today the supplementary estimate for the first quarter of 2025. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya presented the report of pre-election budget condition for 2024 of Finance, Economic Development, Policy Planning and Tourism Ministries. She proposed that the notice of supplementary estimate should be presented to the Government Finance Committee.
Public Finance Committee
MP Kavinda Jayawardena said that the vote on account has to be presented to the Finance Committee. MP Dr. Harsha De Silva said that in 2019 the vote on account was taken without presenting to the Finance Committee. He added that former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa also followed the same and added that this should not be made a precedent.
මේක පූර්වාදර්ශයක් කරගන්න එපා කරු කතානායකතුමා. මොකද අපිට එකඟ වෙච්ච කතාවක්
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ පක්ෂ නායක රැස්වීමේදී
Minister Bimal Ratnayaka observed that this has been discussed during the discussions of the Parliament party leaders and said that the same is not a matter of the government. He also said that if this did not happen, it would not be possible to maintain the government and the office of the leader of the opposition. He also pointed out that there are enough precedents to surpass standing orders. The minister said that the agenda has been agreed to after a consensus in the meeting of party leaders.
ඒ නිසා මේක 아무තු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි අපි ස්ටෑන්ඩින් ඕඩර්ස් සස්පෙන්ඩ් කරලා යන්න පක්ෂ නායක රැස්වීම එකඟ වෙලා තමයි මේ න්‍යාය පත්‍රය එකඟතාවය ඉදිරිපත් කළේ. ඒක සදාචාර සම්පන්න නේ.
අපි එකඟ වුණ එක ඇත්ත. නමුත් මෙතන කරන්න
MP Rauf Hakim said that although it has been agreed to, a notice had to be issued on the suspension of the standing orders and to have discussions afterwards. Minister Bimal Ratnayaka said that had the agenda been carried forward as per it has been agreed in the party leaders meeting, it would come with the suspension of standing orders. He further said that this debate is not scheduled for today and the vote on account debate is to be held on the 5th of this month. He requested not to show a novice attitude in this respect and the valuable time on the Parliament should not be wasted without any necessity. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya said that all are bound to safeguard not to misuse power, safeguarding of the rule of law. She added that the people have given a clear message in rejecting communalism. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa observed that it has to be seen whether the wishful thinking of Ranil Wickremesinghe or the ground reality would be victorious in the future. He said that what has been said has to be implemented invariably. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa pointed out that the ground reality is that the NPP has secured 159 seats, whereas the SJB has secured only 40 seats. He pointed out that the wish of everyone is to respect the mandate mandate given by the people and to carry forward the political activities. He also said they believe that the present Parliament would help in raising the quality of the present Parliament in order to move forward with the traditions and the usages of the Parliament, fulfilling the expectations of the public. He also said that mere talks would not help and it should be matched with actions.
Now, a heated situation erupted in Parliament today when Jaffna District MP Dr. Archana Ramanathan charged that he was assaulted in Parliament outside the opposition leader's office. Raising a point of order during this evening's Parliament session, MP Ramanathan said that he was assaulted by a person named Sujit. He said that he had gone to the office of the leader of the opposition to inquire about the time allocated for him when a person named Sujit assaulted. Ramanathan said that if such things happened in the Parliament, it would be problematic to face the public outside. The MP was instructed to lodge a complaint with the Speaker into the incident. Responding to the accusation, MP Nalin Bandara said that MP Ramanathan behaved inappropriately at the opposition leader's office. MP Bandara said that a complaint has been lodged in this regard and also requested to make arrangements for MP Ramanathan to sit elsewhere in Parliament. Meanwhile, SJB MP Sujit Sanjay rejected MP Ramanathan's allegations, saying that no such incident took place.
The Department of Examinations says that the GCE Advanced Level Examination will commence from tomorrow as usual. The examination was not held for 6 days from the 27th of last month due to the inclement weather condition. Commissioner General of Examinations Amit Jayasundara informs that if any candidate faces transport difficulties due to the disaster situation, they can sit for the examination at the nearest examination centre. Commissioner General of Examinations Amit Jayasundara said that the examination will commence from tomorrow to the 20th of this month as per the earlier planned timetables. The subjects which could not be conducted from the 27th of November has been planned to be held from the 21st of December. The subjects which were scheduled on the 28th of November will be held on the 23rd of December. The subjects scheduled to be held on the 29th of November will be held on the 27th of December. The subjects of November 30th will be held on the 28th of December. The subjects scheduled on the 2nd of December will be held on the 30th of December. The subjects which were scheduled to be held on the 3rd of December will be held on the 31st of December. The Department of Examinations informs that the relevant timetable will be issued in the coming days. Commissioner General of Examinations Amit Jayasundara said that the Kiralawa bridge along the Galkiriyagama-Madhatugama road has been blocked due to erosion of riverbank. He said that therefore a new examination centre was set at the Galkiriyagama Central College. He added that students of Galkiriyagama Central College and Damulu Halmillava Central College should report to the new centre set up in the Galkiriyagama Central College. He further said that the department is ready to face any disaster situation. The Commissioner General of Examinations said that in any case of problems, the Disaster Management Centre and the Relief Mechanism are ready to support these students. He also said that if there is any transport difficulty, the candidates are able to write the examination at the nearest examination centre.
The Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal presented by President Andrew Kumar Dissanayake to provide an allowance for purchasing stationery for the children of low-income earning families before commencement of the academic year 2025. Accordingly, an allowance of 6,000 rupees will be provided per child through Welfare Benefit Board to purchase stationery for children of families where the ASVASMA beneficiary families. An allowance of 6,000 rupees will be given per child to purchase stationery for children who are not entitled to the ASVASMA program, children from families with disabled mother or father, all children of school age in orphanages, and children belonging to categories who have become destituted due to special reasons. The clearance of the Attorney General has been obtained to the resolution for the vote on account drafted by the legal draftsman. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal presented by the President in his capacity as the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to submit this resolution to Parliament. The Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal presented by the President to revise the recently effective ASVASMA welfare payment scheme as follows. to increase the currently paid monthly beneficiary allowance paid to the poor and extremely poor category from 8,500 rupees to 10,000 rupees and from 15,000 rupees to 17,500 rupees respectively, and implement it from the date that the revised Aspas per welfare benefit scheme is approved by the Parliament. It has been decided to extend the valid duration that the benefit is paid for the transitional social category up to 31st March 2025 and to extend the valid duration that the benefit is paid to the social category subject to vulnerability up to 31st December 2025. Taking into consideration the huge cost of maintenance and fuel of luxury vehicles used in government institutions, the Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal presented by the President to dispose luxury vehicles on proper mechanism. The Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal presented by President Andrew Dissanayake to establish a presidential task force under the Ministry of Finance, Policy Planning and Economic Development, and to establish a fund by the name of Clean Sri Lanka Fund, which will be controlled by a governing body to provide necessary funds to implement the programme. The Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal presented by the Minister of Health and Mass Media to award a procurement from the State Pharmaceutical Corporation and local pharmaceutical manufacturers. Accordingly, it has been decided to award the procurement of supplying 42 types of medicine to the State Pharmaceutical Corporation and to award the procurement of supplying 131 types of medicine to the local producers that have signed the joint venture agreements with the State Pharmaceutical Corporation. The Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal presented by the Minister of Public Administration, Provincial Council and Local Government to appoint a Cabinet subcommittee under the patronage of the President with the participation of Prime Minister for required guidance relevant to the organising 77th Independence Day.
In the meantime, the government has decided to immediately grant permission to import rice without import control license. At the press briefing held today to inform the cabinet decisions, Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the cabinet has granted approval for this proposal. Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the government will mediate to purchase and store paddy. He said that the government will be able to settle this problem of rice shortage in the market without delay. He added that at the moment it is important to control the prices and maintain food security for the people. He further said that the government will mediate to such problems for the welfare of the consumers, and any type of mafias or monopolies will be strictly dealt with. He also said that the large-scale rice mill owners should issue their stocks to the market reasonably considering the need of the people. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that as an alternative, the government will strengthen medium and small-scale rice importers to solve this problem. He said that the government will definitely implement a sustainable program to ease this problem from the next cultivation season. He also said that to reduce the price of coconuts, the government has taken measures to issue some amount of coconuts to the market through the state plantation companies. The cabinet spokesman also stated that the government will never let communalism to raise its head again. Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that it has been noticed that some elements are attempting to implement plans to stir racism again. He said that the government will never allow such elements to become active. He said that the government has received a clear mandate rejecting the racism once and for all. He added that it is the responsibility of the government to maintain ethnic harmony. He further said that it is dangerous to allow such communal extremism to incur a bloodshed in the country again. He also said that racism should be defeated at the very outset. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the government has to enforce the existing laws to control the terror activities. He said that the government is ready to introduce a new law to strengthen the national security with accountability towards citizens. He said that the police have to file cases against the culprits under the existing laws. He also said that this is very obvious that some elements are purposely carrying out such vicious activities. He stressed that this person is the secretary of the SLPP, Renuka Dushyant Pereira, promoting the LTTE, exhibiting its flag through his social media network. Minister Jayatissa said that and questioned who the person is named Harshani Sandaruani. He said that she is a former UNP councillor of the Kotte Municipal Council. He added that according to police reports, 40% of the investigated activists are from the SLPP. He said that the government is not checking their political connections. He also said that, however, the government will have to enforce laws against any groups who are attempting to disrupt the national harmony and to achieve their political targets. The cabinet spokesman said that such elements should remember that if the existing laws are not sufficient, the government will introduce new laws to defeat racism. He said that the government will also assure the people that any existing laws will not be used to disrupt the freedom of speech and expression. He also said that people can write and publish anything, but they should write the truth. He said that no one should exhibit the flags or symbols of banned organizations to create racial hatred in the country. He said that this is not the freedom of expression. The government has also decided to call for nominations again for the local government elections. Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the government has no intention to change the voting system. He said that there are many problems regarding the nomination papers. He added that some candidates have passed away while some have left the country. He further said that some others have changed their parties. The cabinet spokesman said that, however, there are young candidates who are willing to contest the local government elections. He said that considering all these matters, the government expects to amend the existing act.
The Development Officers Service Union says that the tense situation occurred in front of the Minister of Education yesterday regarding the school development officers' problem should be investigated whether there are conspiring elements behind this incident. Secretary of the Union, Parliamentarian Chandana Suryaarachi says that in a backdrop of all measures have been taken to solve the problem, and when the protesters have been invited to have talks with the authorities, some elements created a problematic situation there, rejecting the invitation for talks. The Joint School Development Officers Collective started a protest in front of the Ministry of Education in Palwatha last evening, demanding the government to recruit them into a teaching service without delay. The protesters have come to the ministry premises without informing the authorities. They engaged in a protest for over 1 hour, blocking the road. Then a tense situation occurred at this place. In this dispute, several police officers were critically injured. One of the officers was admitted to the emergency treatment unit. Secretary of Development Officers Service Union, Parliamentarian Chandana Suryaarachi said that right from the beginning, the Deputy Minister, relevant authorities and the secretaries were ready to talk and continuously invited the relevant representatives to take part in the talks. He said that, however, they evaded the talks. He added that the government never approves the physical harassment made against the officials. He further said that it is obvious that certain elements wanted to put the government in inconvenience beyond their genuine need to solve the problem. Chandana Suryaarachi said that, therefore, the government should focus attention on this matter. Views were expressed in the Parliament today as well regarding this incident. Deputy Minister Mahinda Jaya Singh has said that they have not come to any discussion after the new Cabinet of Ministers was sworn in on the 18th of last month. He said that in this backdrop, they started this protest and incurred cut injuries to 3 police officers. He added that 1 officer had serious injuries. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that this is a problem created by a number of previous governments. He said that graduates have been recruited for government service without planning salary scales, promotion schemes and other administrative needs. He further said that the government is fully aware of this problem. He said that that is why the Prime Minister submitted a cabinet paper to the cabinet. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the government will conduct a proper investigation into the improper recruitment of graduates, and proper program will be implemented to secure their future. The government requests the relevant development officers not to take hasty decisions and wait until the government properly solve this matter.
The Attorney General today informed the Court of Appeal that an investigation is being conducted regarding the offering of a tender to purchase 5 million e-passports to the Department of Immigration and Immigration during the last government. The investigation is being conducted by the National Procurement Committee. Epic Lanka Private Company has filed a petition in this respect, challenging the manner in which the tender has been offered to purchase passports. The Colombo High Court today ordered a life sentence to a suspect who had been engaged in drug peddling. He had been accused of keeping 6.5 grams of heroin in his possession and conducting drug businesses. The suspect was arrested during a raid conducted at Sri Wikramapura area of Mattakuliya on the 21st of June in 2021. The judge who ordered the life imprisonment sentence that allegations against the suspect have been proved without reasonable doubt. The Colombo Magistrate Court today ordered to call on 29th of April of next year the complaint of deleting the data of email messages of the investigation pertaining to the fire in the Express Pearl ship. The 7 employees of the local representative company of the Express Pearl ship who had been named as suspects of the case also appeared before the court.
Assistant Secretary of State for the Bureau of South and Central Asian Affairs, Donald Liu, will travel to India, Sri Lanka and Nepal from the 3rd of December, or from the 3rd to the 10th of December. The authorities stated that this will strengthen cooperation with key partners in South Asia to promote regional prosperity and security.
Assistant Secretary Donald Liu will travel to Colombo, Sri Lanka to advance US-Sri Lankan joint efforts to promote sustainable economic growth, combat corruptions and strengthen people-to-people ties. USA Deputy Assistant Administrator Anjali Kaur and Department of the Treasury Deputy Assistant Secretary Robert Caproth will join Assistant Secretary to meet with senior government officials from Sri Lanka's new administration and representatives from civil society. U.S. Department of State press release mentioned that discussions will deepen ties with the new government, support its effort to combat corruption and explore how the United States can support Sri Lanka's governance and economic reform agenda through tailored technical assistance, capacity building and development programs.
Sri Lanka Customs said the performance of trade goods export in October this year has indicated a growth of 18.2% compared to the same month last year. The successful export sectors are apparel and garments, tea, coconut, rubber, spices and concentrated products. In comparison to September this year, the export performance in October has increased by 8.4%. In October this year, service exports have estimated at $323.17 million US. It is a growth of 19.75% when compared to the same period last year. The entire export of both goods and services in October has shown a growth of 18.57% in line with the same period last year. The amount of income is reported as $1,420.27 million US. Chairman of the Export Development Board, Mangala Vijayasinghe, states that a considerable performance has been achieved in exports during the month of October this year.
The ambassador of USA, Juliet Chang, joined Minister of Justice and National Integration, Harshna Nanakara, and UN Resident Coordinator, Marc-André Franche, on Monday to address the need for continued work on peace building, reconciliation and social cohesion in Sri Lanka. All of them addressed the closing session of the day-long USAID Social Cohesion and Reconciliation Activity Program that brought development partners together to learn from each other's experiences working in the field.
I think all of us want to first, I think it's very important to applaud the kind of language and the presentation that the President has done, for example, during his policy statement in Parliament. And I think all of us were quite impressed by the kind of language that he used, that there's no room for racism, that he won't accept political manipulation and usage of ethnicity and religion to score political points, the importance of building national unity and the supremacy of rule of law. And so I think if I was a Minister of Justice and I was listening to the President saying that, I would feel that he has my back. And certainly I think we sense that from his speech. And many of us left the room thinking that I think it was quite unprecedented to have a president at its policy statement in Parliament starting his speech with such language.
As you've heard, President Dissanayaka did emphasize a point in his recent government policy statement by calling for an end to political divisions along regional, ethnic, and religious lines. And he acknowledged his government's commitment to meet all of Sri Lanka's expectations. So I encourage all of us to build new lasting partnerships in this new era to carry the important work of peace building forward through cooperation and shared responsibility. Now, this work is foundational to the United States' support for Sri Lanka, and we're proud to be a partner with the government and all of you and the people of Sri Lanka in this effort. I've seen myself at the ground level as I've traveled around the country, and you have too, all the things that your work has accomplished. And as you've seen in the past, there have been a number of commissions and committees and laws, and those in itself will not solve the country's problems. Really engage all stakeholders. As a minister takes on this responsibility to listen to all the stakeholders, I hope that we keep each other accountable, donors, civil society, media, government, that we continue to keep each other accountable on the pledge that everybody has made for the betterment and inclusion of all Sri Lankan citizens across the country.
Peace building, reconciliation has been a sideshow. It has been a sideshow because that's how you get the donations in. That's how you just before the Geneva Convention comes, you do something about it. So this is how it has been. Because all this time, I'm not going to make a political speech, but the reality is that all this time, this was a sideshow, I feel, because they just wanted to survive for 5 years and do whatever they can and leave. But for the first time, National People's Power, it's different because we want to work for these 5 years and go before the public again and ask for further 5 more years. So we are not going to just lip serve things, no lip service. We have to do what we say. Now, our president has recognized this very well, and so was National People's Power as a political party. There's so much of history where we could have easily used the race card or the religious card to win an election. And those citizens of Sri Lanka, and everybody else knows how they did it in the past. So in our language, there are no longer us and them. That terminology is over. It's over, not us and them. It's one Sri Lanka, one people. And we mean business. Because, remember, how can a country go forward, economically or socially, when people are hurting and wounded? We have fought long enough. So therefore, government pledge is social cohesion, peace building, one Sri Lanka, and that's about it.
Deputy Minister Aruna Jayasekara says that provisions required to provide relief to the public who has been affected by the disaster condition has been allocated by the Treasury. He made these observations expressing his views in the Parliament today. Deputy Minister of Defence Aruna Jayasekara said that an amount of 300 million rupees have been allocated by the Treasury after the President considered the provisions for the disaster situation. These provisions had been provided to be used in any emergency before as well. He added accordingly the allocated amount for the year 2024 before this disaster condition had been 45 million rupees, and the amount allocated for the present disaster condition amounts to 300 million rupees. He pointed out that the total amount allocated for this purpose has therefore been 345 million rupees.
54 police officers along with 5 DIGs have been transferred under the instructions of National Police Commission. Among those who were transferred, there are 35 senior superintendents of police. According to a police media division communique, 7 superintendents of police and 7 assistant superintendents of police have also been transferred. Along with this change, women police officer, SSP of Police MMLR Amarasena has been appointed as the Director of Special Investigations Unit. SSP KJS Karna Singha, who was attached to the Police Force Headquarters, has been appointed as the Director of Police Order Management Division. Senior SP AJ Gunasekara has been appointed as Director of Child and Women Abuse Prevention Division. SP JHMN Jayapatma received his new appointment as the Director of Criminal Division, Western Province South. SP K.A. Udayakumara has become the new Director of Valana Anti-Corruption Unit. SSP K.B. Manatunga is the new Director of Police Media Division and the Police Media Spokesman. He was previously attached to the office of SSP in charge of Kantale Division.
The usage of new media by many has become a normal incident in the daily life. However, a surge in cybercrime connected with it can be observed along with the progress which can be witnessed in the new media information technology era. The festive season holds a speciality in this respect. Major markets and institutions have issued information through the internet and social media stating that various types of services and discounts will be provided with a lot of benefits to the consumer in the forthcoming festive season. The accuracy of much of these cannot be confirmed. If you provide your bank account number to the concerned bank branch or inquire about it when dealing with an online service or when it has been informed that you have won a draw, it becomes extremely risky. In such a case, that can be complained to hotline 101 during office hours, which includes financial fraud. One can also complain to the office of the CERT institution established in the Colombo BMICH premises. In case you need legal advice, the Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team informs that it can be complained to the Criminal Division of Sri Lanka Police. Chief Information Security Engineer of the CERT, Nirosh Anand, says that a large number of irregularities have been reported these days, especially targeting famous persons of the society. These persons have been targeted by entering their WhatsApp accounts illegally and sending messages to colleagues in that person's group. The messages sent by these fraudulent people state that someone close to them is in trouble and a monetary support is required. He added that in such cases, many people have provided financial support to the account numbers mentioned by the crooks. The SL CERT informs the general public not to share the one-time OTP with any unknown persons at any cost. He also requests not to include any unknown person to the personal WhatsApp or any other social media account. He also added that the public is informed in case money is demanded, it has to be responded after a thorough search. It would be helpful to be conscious in order to avoid crimes of this nature rather than doing internet dealings with the hope of easing one's services in the modern technological upsurge.
Viskamprabha 2024 exhibition and fair organized by the Department of Rural Development in the Western Province was held recently. This exhibition, which was held with the auspices of the Ministry of Industries and Rural Development, Transport, Cooperative Development and Trade, Housing and Construction, Estate Infrastructure Facilities, and with the participation of Chief Secretary of the Western Province, Damika Vijay Singha, and other officials. Beautiful creations by women of Rural Women's Training Center could be witnessed at this exhibition, and their creations were on sale for a fair price.
We believe that rural household economy can play a significant role to maximize the country economy. So in order to that, we are conducting 28 rural women development centers in the Western Province. So today we commenced that Viskamprabha 2024 exhibition and fair. This is a valuable opportunity for small-scale entrepreneurship and all the trainees.
The International Day of the Differently Abled falls on today, the 3rd of December. We bring you a heart-rendering story of a courageous youth who has been suffering from a severe bodily ailment but who was able to overcome it due to his sheer self-determination.
He is Dinet Oshita, a resident of Hokandar area. Oshita can be described as an extremely courageous young personality who is suffering from a severe physical ailment since his birth. He was reluctant to face the society due to his condition, but he determined to face his rest of life courageously. This became the turning point of his entire life. He accepted a strong challenge of life during the COVID-19 period by starting a business of his own. Dinet selected the marketing of various varieties of cactus as his business. By now, Dinet has been successful in earning an attractive income from his venture, having a large number of customers to support him. The unique feature has been his ability to provide cactus plants to a supermarket in addition to his private selling. How many among us become disappointed due to certain minute incidents of life? Dinet has provided a stunning answer and resounding example for all of us by setting aside his shortcomings which he endowed by birth. He has to be complimented for winning the battle of life with his sheer courage.
The Faculty of Technology at the University of Colombo hosted its annual research symposium today under the theme of Research in Technology for a Sustainable Future. This year's symposium has emphasized the university's dedication to host innovation and finding solutions to global challenges. The symposium was held this morning at the Faculty of Technology of the University of Colombo at Pitipana. The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Colombo, Senior Professor H.D. Karnaratna, was the chief guest of the symposium.
Today, you know, the important thing, technology is very important for all the faculties. Whatever things we do, without technology we can't do. So therefore, the University of Colombo Faculty of Technology selected the today's theme as this, the technology for sustainable future.
The key highlight of this year's symposium was the student project and research, where talented undergraduates showcased their innovative projects and research findings. Postgraduates also contributed to the research showcase. The exhibition provided a platform for young researchers to demonstrate their work areas. New innovations and research subjects in renewable energy, smart technologies, sustainable manufacturing and artificial intelligence were showcased.
A special program was held in Colombo yesterday with regard to opening of the export market in the United Kingdom for the women entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka. This was held with the objective of strengthening the bilateral economic relations between the two countries as well. The program has been jointly organized by the International Trade Center and Sri Lanka Export Development Board. Accordingly, about 50 Sri Lankan women entrepreneurs will be able to access the export market jointly with the companies in the United Kingdom. Special attention was focused for the sectors of apparel, garment and value-added agricultural products. The representatives of the UK companies are scheduled to take part in an inspection tour over their businesses conducted by Sri Lankan women entrepreneurs in Colombo, Kurunegala, Jaffna and some southern town areas. British High Commissioner in Sri Lanka Andrew Patrick, Deputy Minister Chaturanga Besingha, Chairman and Chief Executive of the Export Development Board Mangala Vijayasinghe and several others participated in this program. That's it on local stories. Stay tuned with us for news overseas coming your way after this short break. And in foreign news, Israel officials said that it struck targets in Lebanon yesterday evening after vowing to retaliate for an attack by Hezbollah on a military post, with both sides accusing each other of violating last week's ceasefire.
At least 10 people were reported dead by an Israeli strike on 2 southern Lebanese villages, according to the country's public health ministry. The Israel Defense Forces stated that it struck Hezbollah targets and infrastructure throughout Lebanon while reiterating its commitment to the ceasefire agreement. Hezbollah said that it was responding to Israeli violations and said it carried out a defensive warning strike, firing mortars at an Israeli army position in an area occupied by Israel. Israel said that there was no injuries reported in Hezbollah strikes on Sheba farms. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu describes the Hezbollah attacks as a severe violation of the ceasefire, vowing that Israel would respond forcefully.
And in sports news, Sri Lanka was able to qualify for the semi-finals of the Under-19 Asia Cup One-Day Cricket Tournament unbeaten by defeating Bangladesh by 7 runs in the final of the preliminary round today. The match was played in Dubai. Sri Lanka decided to bat first after winning the toss and lost their first 3 wickets within 36 runs. Lakshmi Nabesinghe scored 21 runs and Viran Chamaditha was out for 20. Captain of the team Vihas Theumika was out in the form of the 8th wicket of the Sri Lankan innings for 22 runs. Vemat Dinsara, playing an excellent innings, scored a century by scoring 106 runs. Sri Lanka team scored 228 runs all out in 49.2 overs. In bowling, Al Fahad claimed 4 wickets while Rizan Hossain captured 3 scalps. The top scorer Kalam Siddique scored 95 for Bangladesh. Vihas Theumika captured 3 wickets for Sri Lanka. Striking feature of the match was 4 Bangladeshi batsmen being run out in the face of some excellent fielding by Sri Lankan fielders. With this win, Sri Lanka has reached semi-finals, being the leaders of Group B.
The Sri Lanka women's hockey team will take part in an Asian Junior Women's Hockey Tournament in a lapse of 13 years. Sports Minister Sunil Kumar Gamage today congratulated the Sri Lankan team. The meeting between the Sports Minister and the hockey team was held near the Parliament. Nipuni Ishara is the captain of the Sri Lanka Junior Women's Hockey team. Nelia Kaushani is the vice-captain. The tournament is scheduled to be held from the 7th to the 14th of this month in Muscat, Oman. Sri Lanka will compete in the Group B, which is included with South Korea, Japan, Chinese Taipei and Hong Kong teams. Sports Minister Sunil Kumar Gamage said that the ministry congratulates the team for the opportunity received after 13 years. He said that he wished the team to come back with a victory. He added that especially the players of the team have faced many financial difficulties in participating in this tour. The minister further said that after a short discussion, the ministry has been able to solve their problems and make arrangements for the tour for the junior women's hockey team. And that's all the news we have for tonight. Join us from at the same time for the very latest on Channel I. I'm Delanjali, together with Lakshita signing off. Good night.
Good night.